Hey guys, it's Jack. I make videos about all things tech, and today I wanted to do a bit of a sort of casual what's on my phone style video. So we'll have a look at my home screen setups and some of the apps that I like to use and the widgets as well. So I will link to all of these apps in the description, and if I've got any like relevant videos as well that you can watch, I'll put those down there as well. So let's get right to it. So on the main page, I just keep, the apps that I want to get to the quickest and fastest. These are like my most used. Along the top row, I've got messages, calendar, photos, and camera. Most of the time I do just shoot with the Apple Camera app because it's just sort of the most convenient, and I do like having live photos. But I do also like to use the Halo app. This is a third-party camera app, and it gives you a lot more manual control, so you can actually, pick and choose a setting for white balance. You also have manual focus control, so you have the slider, so you can actually make sure that the thing that you're shooting is definitely in focus. And I also like using this app with mobile lenses, as if you have a mobile lens mounted over the camera on the iPhone and you shoot with the native app, it sometimes gets a bit confused and it tries to switch to a different camera. But in this app, when you actually select one of the cameras, you will definitely be shooting with that camera. Then next up, I've got Instagram and Threads, where I'll just sort of post a few updates, and when I've got like a new video live, I'll post there. And yeah, if you want to come and follow me and join the little sort of tech chat, then you're more than welcome at JCKRGB on pretty much all social platforms. I've got like no followers on Threads, so I would appreciate having some people to talk to. Next up, we have Feed. This is a pretty cool app. This is basically a news aggregator, so you can search and subscribe for different topics, even YouTube channels. I use this mainly for tech stuff, so I've got a load of sort of tech websites here. I've got 9to5 Mac Rumors. I've got 9to5 Google as well, just to stay in the loop with some Android stuff, and Tom's Hardware, Engadget. And it basically just, aggregates all of these into one place, and I just use it as a sort of tech news app. Really great, and it's free to use. Next up, we have Apple Maps. Yes, I actually use Apple Maps. I really like just the general look of the app, the cartography, and it's actually pretty good here in the UK. It doesn't, I know when it first launched, it got memed out of existence by some people and they just never decided to use it again. But nowadays it's actually pretty good, at least here in the UK. And I also just really like the 3D view, where you can sort of see these models. Like we've got the Elizabeth Tower here in Westminster and the London Eye. And yeah, it's a really great app for finding things that you need nearby. The only thing I would say is I never used to use it when I was traveling abroad because it didn't support offline maps. It does now, so next time I go away, I will give this a shot and see how it fares in another country. Now, I do like to keep the settings app here on the first page because a lot of Apple's own apps just have so many of the settings hidden away in here. Like you look at the camera app, for example, look at all these settings in here that, you might not even know that they're all hidden. And then there's like sub-menus of even more things that you can change. So I do like to just have that on the home screen to keep that handy. And also just to mention, I am running the iOS 17.2 beta. So we have got a couple of features in this that will be coming out soon. One of my favorites is the new translation shortcut for the action button. So if we dive into this menu, we have a new option here for translate. So now when you hold on the side button, you can translate into a different language. So, hello, where is the nearest bank, please?
Bonjour, où est la banque la plus proche, s'il vous plaît?
Okay, it's really quiet. I don't know why. I've got this on max volume, but this is a beta, so that's probably why. And the way that this works is it basically takes the last languages that you had set. So I have it from UK English into French, and then that will be the default that when you press to use the action button, it will translate from English into French. If you wanted to set it to a different language, you could change that to, Spanish or something. But it also works both ways. So if you are trying to communicate with someone who doesn't speak the same language as you, you can use it to translate back into English. So I'm not very good at French, but I'll give it a go. Je suis désolé, je ne parle pas bien le français. Parlez-vous anglais, s'il vous plaît?
I'm sorry, I don't speak French well. Do you speak English, please?
I'm really sorry for any French speakers watching. That's terrible. But at the moment, I currently have this set to run an action button menu shortcut that I've made. So when I press the side button, I get a pop-up with a load of different options. I can, mute the phone, turn on the rotation lock, open a camera app that I like to use. I also have these two down here, and these are pretty cool. These will get links to my latest videos, so if you want to quickly share a video to someone, so I can get recent YouTube videos, and it will give me a whole list of all of my recent ones, and I can tap on one, and then it literally just gives me a URL that I can quickly send to someone. Then I also have another one which does a similar sort of thing, but this one actually sort of reformats it into a tweet or something that I can quickly post on Threads. Let me know if you want to see a video on how I set this up. Then here I've got a quick shortcut to my website, jckrgb.com. And yeah, if you didn't know, I do have a website. I've actually got some wallpapers on here. I've got a free pack called Flow that anyone can download. And I also have 2 from my marble collection, Marble 1, Marble 2. And I'm currently using one of the wallpapers from the Marble 2 collection. So if you want to go grab those, head over to the website and use code MARBLE50 to get 50% off either or both of the marble packs. Then down in the dock, I've got the phone, mail, Safari, and the music app. And I'll be honest, I don't actually phone anyone, so I don't really know why I've got that down there. I should probably swap it out with the messages app, but it kind of feels wrong to not have a phone app on a phone in the dock, so it's there for now. Then if we look at the widget situation, I've got 2 sort of stacks here. At the top, I have it rotate between the weather. I also have, this is the feed app, but as a widget, so we've got a news article there. I have a clock, just so I can keep track of world time if needed. Batteries and my reminders. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Then here I have the timer widget. This just gives me a quick shortcut to get to a 5, 50 minute or 30 minute timer. And yeah, this app, it's a third-party app, and it just gives you a giant number countdown, and it looks pretty cool. And that's literally all it does. It's just a timer, but I like it. And then on this stack, I have feed again. I also have Apple Music and the activity rings, and yeah, weather as well. Onto the next home screen, and as you can see, this is all about photography, video, and editing. So up here, I've got my editing apps, and there's a few that I like to use: Visco, Snapseed, Darkroom, but the one that I'm mostly using at the moment is Photomator. This is a really powerful photo editing tool. It's got a bunch of preset filters built in, and you can copy and paste your edits to different photos to do some quick batch editing. And I've already done a video on this showing how I like to use it and how I like to edit. I go for a bit of a sort of subtle look. So yeah, definitely check that video out if you want to learn more about that. Then over here I have the Insta360 app, and this connects to all of my Insta360 gear, like the X3, the Flow, and the latest Go 3. And yeah, that just gives you all the camera controls for those. And yeah, they make some great action cams and gimbals for smartphones. I really like the gimbal actually, because it makes your iPhone footage look really smooth, and kind of you can do all these crazy barrel roll camera moves, and I just love it. I've also got a folder full of just Adobe apps that I never use, so I don't know why I've still got them here, but they're there. Then next to that we have ProTake. I've heard a lot of good things about this app. I've had it downloaded for a long time now, and I've still not really tried it out. But yeah, it's there so that I remember to try it at some point. Then down here, I've got some more apps for shooting with. So I really like the Moment app. It is for both photos and videos. And you've got all the usual manual controls for things like ISO, shutter speed, and color temperature. And this has also had some really nice updates just the other day, actually. Now we have an option to prefer 48 megapixel photos when shooting stills, if you have an iPhone with a 48 megapixel main camera. And also there is some new settings for things like Apple ProRes. You can choose the video codec. And when you're in the camera, you can also change the profile into Apple Log, which is a really nice new format from Apple. It kind of removes all of the over sharpening, the over processed look that you get from smartphone video. So now you can shoot that in the Moment app. Really great app, and it's a one-time purchase. And then on the home screen, I've got 3 widgets for the Moment app, which jump straight to my presets. So I've got anamorphic ones, and I've just got a studio one when I'm shooting in here, and that just sets everything up for me, and I can just get shooting straight away. Now, I used to use the Filmic app a lot when shooting video on the iPhone, but Blackmagic just came out with literally the best camera app ever, and it is completely free to use unless you want to use, I think, just the cloud storage stuff that they have. It has all of the sort of manual camera settings, so you can control your shutter speed, white balance again. It also supports Apple Log, so over in the color space, you can choose Apple Log. And if you saw Apple's most recent event, the Scary Fast event where they announced all of the M3 Max, they went through the whole event as normal. They had all of their crazy fancy transitions and stuff. And then right at the end, there was just a card that pops up that says, shot on iPhone, edited on a Mac. And then they released a behind the scenes video after, sort of showing how they made it. And even Apple and their video team are using the Blackmagic camera app. So even they must think that it is good enough for professional use as well. Blackmagic just sort of came out of nowhere with this app, and it's, you know, already really great, and, you know, they're continuing to make it even better, and it's definitely worth checking out. I'll link to it below. It's free to download and free to use. Next up, we have my sort of productivity home screen. So along the top, I've got the Apple iWork apps. I have Notion. This app is basically how I organize my entire YouTube channel. I'll put my video ideas in here, all of my sort of scripts, my research, all of my planning dates. Now, I don't use it that much on the iPhone. It's more of like an iPad or Mac app, but I have it here just so, you know, I can quickly jot something down, or if I need to refer to something, then I like to keep it handy here. I have the Files app if I need to grab something from my iCloud drive or access something saved on the phone. Then I've got both the YouTube and YouTube Studio apps. I've got my JCK RGB web app again. ZHIYUN is for controlling my ZHIYUN light. So when I'm shooting B-roll, one of the lights that I like to use is the G60. It is this tiny little light. It's like, I don't know, the size of a Rubik's Cube. And it is pretty powerful considering how small it is. And I use it all the time, and this lets me control it remotely. I have the Anker app, and this connects to the Anker Prime 250 watt, along with a few of the other things, which I don't have, but this is what I use it for. And this lets me monitor the battery percentage. I can see all of the input, the output. And it also has a really cool thing where you can put in a load of information about the device that you want to charge, and it will tell you how many charges that device will get based on the amount of power currently in the power bank. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen a power bank with Bluetooth before, but yeah, I did a full review on it, so go check it out. Then for widgets, once again, I've got my reminders, and I've also got the Notion widget to quickly jump to a project I'm working on. Then on the next page, I've got sort of my gaming setup. So this is where I'll keep any new games that I've found, or just old games that I like to play often. I also want to point out the Backbone app. So I just did a review on the Backbone controller, a really cool accessory for your phone, and it connects via USB-C or Lightning. There are two versions for whatever iPhone or Android you have, and it works over that port. So there's no Bluetooth setup or, you know, latency to worry about, and no battery needed either, as it's powered through the port. It works amazing with any native iOS games that have controller support. It really makes just playing games on the phone so much better. It is way better than using touch controls. And I mainly use this with remote play for streaming PS5 games to my phone. It's really good when you've got a few minutes and you just want to explore in a game, or, I don't know, look for some collectibles or do a few side quests. And last up, we have my last screen, and I'll be honest, this one is a bit of a mess, but this is sort of like my travel homepage, I guess. I've got a widget up top to show me some currency conversions. I've got the Skyscanner app for quickly searching for some cheap flights, Flixbus, Lime and Bird if you want to rent an e-scooter. Then I've just got like a folder full of random airlines, because, you know, every airline has to have an app apparently. I've got the DJI Fly app for my Mini 3 Pro. Now I like to use the DJI controller when I'm flying, but I do need to use the app to, you know, update the drone and the controller. And also I've got the Drone Buddy app. And I use this for checking the weather and, you know, the current wind conditions if I'm thinking about going out flying. And I also use it to check for any no-fly zones, like if there's an airport or a heliport nearby where you're not allowed to fly. So that is my iPhone setup. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I will try to link to all of the apps that I showed in the description, and also some other videos that, you know, are relevant that you might want to check out. Let me know in the comments if there's any apps that you like to use that I'm missing out on that I haven't shown in this video. And if you want to see maybe like a what's on my iPad video, I can do that as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.